Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's Carolyne Rodrigues coming to you with my usual Monday, magical Monday Facebook Live. As you guys come on, I just got to test my lighting because I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Denise, if you're joining us, I'm going to see if I can. Oh my goodness. Now, Denise, you know that little bar that says add a guest, that didn't come on. So let's just try this. So Denise, I'm just going to add you. It's not showing that I can bring you on as a guest. So oh, there you are.
Here I am.
It worked. Woohoo. Thanks. That's awesome. Hey, Robert, how are you? And so as I just get started here, you guys, I just want to say welcome. As for those of you who are listening in replay time, and there's my mom. Hey, mom. Just let me wave to my mom. Magical Mondays. It is Monday. What's the date today, Denise? It's
11th.
June
11th.
June the 11th. Oh my goodness, I'm behind a week. I thought it was June the 4th. June the 11th. So just checking. How's the lighting? Because I'm in my office here and I got all the windows closed. Does it look okay, or does it look
You look good
overlit?
to me.
Let me just. Good to me. You'd say that anyway, right? Awesome. All right, guys. So here it is. We're almost in the middle of June. Can you believe it? Well, I hope you're enjoying this beautiful weather. And I hear today is National. What is it? Make it a beautiful day. National Make It a Beautiful Day. I'm like, okay. Well, to me, every day is a beautiful day because I'm thrilled that I have the privilege of kind of designing my own life, and I have the privilege of inviting some people on that I see on Facebook who are doing some amazing things. So if as you're joining us, or if you're listening in replay time, I'd love for you to just share, what are you excited about? Because I believe that our lives are made up in segments, right? So I set a goal for a year. Well, that's so far in advance that 9 times out of 10 I never get there. So I've learned to chunk things down to a 7-day period and ask myself, what is my goal outcome for this week? And then chunk that down to what is my goal outcome for today. So for today, I love Mondays. That's just something I decided that, so many people hate Mondays. They hate going back to work. They hate the fact that they're doing what they're doing. And Monday seems to be the start of a really long week of doing something that you're not happy about. So it's all about changing your mindset and saying, you know what, I want to make Mondays magical. And how will they become magical? Well, I get to decide, right? So first I have to set it in my mind that Mondays are magical. And as I do these Facebook Lives, and I'm kind of scanning what's happening in Facebook, I come across things that really light me up. I come across things where I see people who are sharing things in their life. I see people who are being very vulnerable about what they have attempted to accomplish, and then share the behind the curtain view of what's going on in their lives. Because Facebook can be daunting, you guys. You see everybody living these beautiful lives, doing all these wonderful things, hanging around with all these wonderful people, and that can sometimes leave some of us with a sense of, I don't belong, I'm not good enough, what am I doing here? Everybody else has this magnificent life except me. And there aren't a lot of people that reveal pull the curtain back and see what's behind the curtain, right? So that's why I invited my beautiful friend Denise on. And we've been practicing. We're trying to figure out how to bring people on and how to do split the screen so Denise isn't like this little person, but it's all a work in progress, right, Denise?
It's all good. Yep.
Yeah, so like yesterday we have our own private bedtime belly buster group where a whole bunch of us are doing the specific program. Hey, Carrie, nice to see you. This is one of my neighbors. Um, we're doing this, and so the girl that I'm doing with, Lori Clark, and I, we got this all figured out, and all of a sudden the whole thing shut down. So I had to start over, and guys, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Life is not perfect, but on Facebook, we present this perfect life. So I want to say welcome to Denise. I'm so glad that you made it today.
Mm.
And Denise, I want you to just share your story because you are someone who inspires me. When I saw your before picture and I look at you now, it's like, how do you get from there to here, right? And it starts with a decision. But you've been doing something ongoing and invited a bunch of us to participate with you, and you set a goal and then something happened, right? So you ripped the curtain back and you shared very vulnerably what happened to your mindset when you went for this goal and you didn't achieve it. So Denise, I'm going to let you set the background and then bring us into that, bring us to the place where you made that Facebook post.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Caroline. Well, thank you for having me. I know we tried last week unsuccessfully, but I'm happy we finally got it going on. So this whole process for me started 5 years ago, just over 5 years ago, actually. And for me, it was a decision. I was in a place where I just wasn't happy in general. And not just happy physically, that was one part of it, but for me, I wasn't feeling like the self I wanted to be. And, you know, within, I would say a couple of months of starting a nutritional program, things shifted me physically, absolutely, but definitely mentally and emotionally. I felt a huge burst of like, yes, I found me again. And you know, that was 5 years ago, and since that time, well, around, you know, a couple of months in, I found this challenge, which is a 16-week challenge, which you know, people who know me probably have seen me post about it on and off for the last 5 years. And I decided after my first challenge that this was something that I wanted to do forever. And that's my personality. I am a goal setter. I like to set, as you said at the beginning, you know, setting a goal far away and then chunking it down. And for me, 16 weeks was doable. It was 4 4-week periods, if my math is right. And from there, those 16-week challenges, oftentimes we do this with our goals, and I find that definitely during that 16 weeks is that, you know, we start in full on, and then, you know, month 2 and month 3 maybe we coast, and then month 4 you're like, oh, we got 4 weeks left, we got to go for it. So for me, I've almost completed my 11th. It's got a 16-week challenge, and as such, that's pretty cool for me, because for me it's like an ongoing challenge. So my challenge is all the time, but I break it now, I guess, into 16 weeks. So every 16 weeks I just start a new one. And for me, that helps me be accountable, mostly, to be honest, to myself for a long time. And then there was an inkling, you know, a couple of challenges ago where maybe I could be a finalist. You know, there's a lot of benefits to be a finalist. Yeah, go ahead. You want to
And
enter?
Denise, I'm just going to interrupt you because there are some people who are joining us, and I want to just say hi to them. And
Yeah, sure.
Danny Tang, I don't know where you. Oh my gosh, Subash from India. I don't know where Danny's calling in from. And there are some people who don't know what you mean by this challenge. So if you could define what it is, so we can put some context into the goals that you were going after, and how those who are listening who don't really know what the IsoBody challenge is and how they can relate it to their life.
So it will be like saying to yourself, okay, in 16 weeks, I want to weigh this, or in 16 weeks, I want to put on this much muscle, or in 16 weeks, I want to run a marathon.
Right.
So everyone's goal is different. It could be weight
So it's
loss, it could be performance. Yeah.
yeah, so yours was a health goal that you were going after, and you're partnered with a company that has a specific criteria that they encourage you to go for and set your goals for and do certain criteria. So you're going after a goal, and then there are some prizes for those people who enter that challenge, right?
Right.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Um, So as such, I had set my goal on achieving those prizes, and to bring us into what brought me to that post, um, I was unsuccessful. And I'm a big believer in, you know, what you see every day helps you bring about those goals. So, I mean, I had these goals posted. I had my heart set on it. I had my kids telling me every day that I was going to achieve that. I thought I had done everything the right way. And I was unsuccessful as a result.
Well,
Yep.
hang on, and
Yep.
I'm going to interrupt you again. You were unsuccessful because you weren't chosen as a finalist.
Right. Yeah,
Okay, all right. Just
absolutely.
got to qualify that, right?
Yes, please do.
You didn't
And
quit doing what you were doing.
yeah,
You did all of those things. You submitted your pictures. You submitted your little story, and you weren't chosen as one of the 10 finalists.
correct. Out of thousands and
Out
thousands
of like
of people.
10,000 people. Okay, all
But
right.
it didn't
Put
matter to
some
me. I
time.
thought I would be.
Well,
So,
that's important, right? You got
yeah,
to think
yeah.
it here. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So when that happened, it was a big disappointment for me, and I had labeled it as a failure. You know, whether that's true or not, obviously in that moment and in those moments, that was what I felt. So my perspective obviously was very focused on the finalist position, and I lost perspective of the gains I did make.
Right.
And obviously, if you do see my before pictures and you see my after pictures, you would look at it and say, "What, are you kidding me? Like, look at those gains. Like, how can you be disappointed?"
Okay,
Right?
so talk about some of those gains, just so again we're putting perspective and
Okay.
context for those who are listening.
Uh, so first of all, my love of working out came back, and as a result, you know, the amount of muscle that I put on and the amount of fat I lost was amazing. My body proportion totally changed, and I became a pretty muscular and fit woman. And of course,
Right.
that leads to health, and that's a really big deal for me. I've had some health
Because here,
challenges, so I am
let me ask you a question.
Yep.
So, and are you aging as you're doing this whole thing?
Yes, in years.
I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there, right? So you're continuing to age, but your body
Yes.
is getting better. Okay, so
Yeah.
go on. I'm sorry
Yes.
to
So
interrupt.
yes, I'm aging by years, but if you look at those pictures, even myself, like I even feel like I look shorter in my before pictures. So I don't think I've grown. But you know, in many ways, overall health for me totally changed. You know, my energy, I was like, I'm up at 5 in the morning and don't go to bed till 11, and I'm busy all day long doing stuff I love. So uh, my sleep, just overall, you know, the way I feel about myself from the
Right,
inside, that all shifted for me.
right.
However, I didn't
You
have
didn't
that
win the prize,
perspective.
so what
That's
happened to
right.
you?
So when I didn't win the prize, I bottomed out. I really kind of, it wasn't like right away, but gradually I kind of gave up, and
Mm,
I actually was away on vacation, so even more reason to, you know, take part in things that are outside of my normal realm of health. You know, drinking and eating, and I was still doing exercise, but I was kind of like, you know, instead of 100%, I was giving it maybe 60%. So I was still eating good nutrition, but I was adding other things in addition. So
right.
it showed up. It showed up in how I felt. It showed up in how I looked. Showed up in how my clothes fit. And really, just my zest for life was kind of squashed.
It was like on the
Yeah,
downturn.
yeah, yeah. And for me, that's a change, because what I put on Facebook is usually pretty authentic. You know, I really try hard to put out what I'm feeling. And
Hmm.
it's not always roses, but most of the time, you know, 95% of the time, I'm pretty positive. I see the good in most situations. So that's a strength. And that had kind of gone away also.
Mm.
So I was just kind of going through the motions for a long time.
So let me just jump in here. So many of us who have home-based businesses, or we have goals, health goals that we're going after, or income goals, or whatever it is. So many of us were in the hunt, and we're focused on, it's good to have a goal. It's good to have this is where I'm going, but understanding that life has these seasons, ups and downs. And when we live on Facebook and we see everybody else's life, and we end up, I don't know, I'll speak for myself. Sometimes I end up judging myself and going, oh, like, I'm doing all this stuff, but they seem to be having more fun. They seem to be getting the results. So Denise, help us, the people who are listening, how did you bring yourself, I call it the rabbit hole, when you're starting to go down the rabbit hole, how did you bring yourself out when you're surrounded by all this Facebook perfectness?
Social media is really powerful. And for me, it's my opportunity to share what's on my heart. But something happened in my life, a tragic accident where I lost a friend of mine, and that very quickly put things into perspective for me. In fact, I mean, I don't want to go into details, but I remember the moment that I went, what the heck am I doing? And
Okay.
things shifted. And I see my friend Mike online there watching, and he would relate. So, and for me, that was, just around a month ago. And I said, you know what? Life is too important. Life is short, and it's cliche, but if it hits home, it hits home. And it was
Right.
true.
So what did you do to bring your, like, to so and again, I'm sorry for the passing of your friend. Those life events happen to us to jog us out of the whatever space we're in. So what was your next step to coming out of that rabbit hole after having that defining moment?
For me, it was continuing with my routine, because often when we're in those kind of places, we're very numb, and I felt that way for even going to the gym. I remember that sensation of just feeling numb. But luckily, I think I'm a pretty mentally strong person, and that carried me through, is really sticking. I mean, I have created such a great routine for myself in my day and the people around me, that I just tried to keep that perspective and keep doing it, even if I didn't feel like doing it. And knew that eventually, if I just kept going to the gym, or I just kept, that nutrition on track, that I would get it. And it did. And it wasn't, again, 2 days or 3 days. I don't remember when it was like, okay, I'm back, but it was around the post. So when was that post? June 3rd. So, not too long ago, a week-ish ago. And I felt it. I felt that passion return. I felt like, okay, here I am. I'm back in the gym. I'm focused on my nutrition. My passion for life is back. I just feel more engaged with what's around me. So it wasn't immediate. It just took time of sticking with what I knew worked.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, and for those people who are listening in live time, and thank you for joining us, and those of you who are listening to replay, this is such great advice. And you said something really important: routine. So many of us don't have a routine, especially those of us who work from home. There's so many distractions everywhere. I know myself, Monday morning, my day is loaded, and it's like, I woke up this morning, and that's why you inspire me, Denise, because I don't always feel like working my body. I don't always feel, my gym is in my house. I don't feel like going downstairs and working out. It's not like, oh, I don't want to get in the car and drive. No, I don't even, so I go through the routine. I put my clothes out that I'm going to wear in the morning. I put them out. So when I wake up, I look at them. So some days I put them on and I may not get in the gym. But the key is it's programming yourself for
Mm-hmm.
those routines and reminding yourself of the routines that got you to
Mm-hmm.
some of those successes. So Denise, you've done what, 10 of these IsaBody challenges, which is awesome. That
Mm-hmm.
means a 16-week period of committing to your health goals. And in that 16 weeks, you say it's not like you start here and you just end up there. It's like up and down. And I tell
Mm-hmm.
myself every day, work your body. I put it into, I encourage people to have a planner, right? I got my props here. So in my planner, I actually write in here exercise, right? I write it in from this time to this time, because you're making a commitment for yourself, with yourself, and you're scheduling the time. So there are some people, Denise, who aren't as disciplined as you. What advice would you have for them?
I would say maybe start every other day, or even start with once a week. Every Monday, this is what I'm going to do. And then to me, I think if it is moving your body and it's something you're not sure of, find someone to do it with. Find someone else to say, let's go for a walk, or let's go to the gym, or whatever, go for a swim, whatever it is. Start once a
Right.
week, and then maybe twice a week, and then 3 times a week, and then get to where you're comfortable and where you are working towards your goals. Because it is intimidating to see other people doing things that are 5-6 days a week. Like, that's not everyone's reality.
That was you. Anyhow, and I would love for you guys to give a high five to Denise, because she's gone through some incredible life issues, including cancer, losing her friend. She's a mom. She's got a couple of kids. I want to congratulate you, Denise, through all of this. You got your personal training
Woo!
certification. So
Thank you,
I'm
Carolyne.
excited for this new chapter in your life, because you basically have started this journey by changing your own personal health,
Mm-hmm.
and then investing time into understanding how you did it, so you can now go and help other people. So if you're looking for a personal trainer, I would highly encourage you to connect with Denise, Miss Denise Greenwood George. She's on Facebook. I follow her. She posts ideas, she posts exercise tips, she posts eating tips, and she's just a great advocate for women, for moms. Denise, do you mind sharing how old you are?
46.
46. Oh
Yep.
my God, you're such a youngster. Yeah, but you inspire me. Like, I'm at 63 and I keep thinking, how do I want to look and feel at, I started this journey 14 years ago, but I wasn't always exercising. But then I started seeing people like yourself and saying, okay, if they can do it, I can do maybe a fraction of what
Mm-hmm.
they're doing. And that's exactly what I did, Denise. I started with the 20-minute workout. Now I'm really dating myself when I say that, right? So anyhow, so for those of you just coming on, guys, we're just wrapping up. So thank you for tuning in to our Magical Mondays. I do this every Monday at noon. And if you have a story, I'd love to interview you, and I'd love to have you share your story with those people who are watching on Facebook, those people who are connected to me, connected to you, because we can all lift each other up. And that's the purpose of my, coming on board and kind of sharing, I should rename this, right? What's behind the curtain, right? That's a show. I should start that. What's behind the curtain? So thank you for joining me. Hit hashtag replay if you're listening to this in replay time. Give Denise some love. Share your takeaways. What did you get from this when we post this? And feel free, if you're in a group, to share this, because there's so many people, women especially, that are beating themselves up because they're just not good enough, because we see all this perfection on Facebook. So guys, have a magical Monday. Have a magical week. And Denise, thank you so much. I'm so glad we figured this out.
Thank you,
And I'll be
Carolyne.
following your journey
Thank
for
you.
sure. So
Thank you.
bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.